Hey everybody. Well, today we're going to take a look at this really cool model kit for this robot. Now this is from Teching, but I got it from a website called Stirlingkit, and I got to give a big shout out to the channel World of Wayne here on YouTube because I was watching one of his live streams and he was showing this kit. Well, he showed the box. I don't know if he showed the inside of it or not. But it looked really cool. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, I got to build that robot because you know how much I love robots. So it wasn't cheap. It was a $200 kit. I did get it on sale for $160 because they had some kind of a $40 discount. But I did pay for the faster shipping, so the shipping ended up being $40. So it still turned out to be $200, but basically the shipping was free with the discount, which was really nice. Now, this is kind of heavy. It's got some weight to it. I think it's mostly made of metal. The box is actually metal, and I think this part is metal as well. It's a really nice box. On the back here, we can see that it just has some stuff, mostly in Chinese. I think it's just saying it's kind of a learning thing for building, and I'm not sure. Yeah, just basically it's a model is what it is, but it has all kinds of cool features. So this will be smartphone, well, you'll use your smartphone. There will be an app for this that you download, and you can control it. You can steer him around. Looks like he rolls around on these kind of like bike chain treads, very similar to Wall-E, which is pretty cool. I think his head turns. I think these spin or turn or something like that. And I think he's also a smart speaker. So it's a really cool looking kit. I'm really excited to try to build this thing. Okay, now let's open this thing. I have not opened it, so I'm very curious to see how this looks inside. It was very securely packed. There we go. All right, so that's a metal lid there. Let's take a look in here. All right, so this looks like the instructions. Hopefully this is not going to be super complicated. Hopefully there's English in here because this is all Chinese. Oh yeah, no, there is some English in here, which is good. Looks like we have some simple instructions there about screwing things together. Hopefully things are labeled pretty well on here. There's some information about the, looks like the app that we're going to download for this. That's going to be the controls. Looks like forward, backward maybe, or left and right, and maybe some turning, I'm guessing is what's going on. Maybe that's the head. Okay, so yeah, looks like we're, man, I hope this is not complicated. No, I think it'll be okay. Most of this stuff now, I mean, it's always intimidating when you first see this stuff. But once you get started on it, it's not bad because you start getting kind of wrapped up into the project. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be relatively technical, I must say. But that's okay. As long as it's simple, I mean, as long as it's not out of control, crazy. But this looks like it's going to be pretty cool. All right, well, see, I'm just going to kind of flip through this real quick. Yeah, it looks like you build the whole thing all the way to the end there. So yeah, this is going to be fun. I think it'll be fun. All right, let's take a look at the kit because I'm very curious about this. And we got some nice sponge right here. Ooh, wow, look at all that. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh, wow. So yeah, there is some serious parts going on. Look at that. Look at that nice blue anodized steel or aluminum. Man, there's some significant parts going on here. There's the bike chain treads that they use for this, which is really cool. I'm assuming there's got to be more stuff. Okay, yeah. So that's the first layer. All right. Ooh, look at that. There's more goodies. Wow. That is awesome. Man, that is some serious hardware going on in there. Oh, look at that. There's a couple of motors right there. That looks like it might be his head. See if there's any more in here. Oh, and I think these might be the screws and stuff. I'll take that out here in just a minute to take a look. Oh, that might be it. That might be everything because it feels like there's nothing else down there. Okay, yeah, so that was all of it. So let me quickly take this out real quick because I want to see this part right here. This thing here I think is the screws. Look at that nice case that this comes in. Yeah, oh, look at all that. There's some washers and some kind of rings in there. Wow, there's some serious hardware going on in here. There's some springs, some kind of clamps or something. Yeah, okay, wow, this is going to be pretty intense. Man, this is nice. I'm actually, ooh, look at this. Here's some, I'm loving all this. Look at all these. Look at all the electronics. That must be his eyes that light up right there. Sorry for the glare. Some nice circuit boards going on. I like that everything's plug and play, just the way we like it. This is rechargeable. So let me see. There's some wires down here. There's a switch. Looks like that's the plug-in jack right there. There's a micro SD card. Oh, no, that's just the plug-in. So you're going to have to use your own power block for that. Wow, there's some seriously cool stuff. All right, well, let me try to take all of this out because I really want to see what all's in here. Yeah, well, I don't know if I want to take it all out because then I don't want to get things mixed up. Because see how everything's labeled? So yeah, usually I spread all the parts out so we can kind of see everything, but I'm just going to try to go through it here. I'm trying to see where the battery is. This is rechargeable. So I am guessing, oh, looks like the top of his head right there. I'm sure the battery's in here somewhere. And there's some clamps and stuff going on in there. Let me see. I'll put this back in here. I don't want to crush those. Let's move this over real quick. Let's take a look at this other tray of parts. So we got all kinds of stuff going on here. This looks like mostly just the hardware type of stuff going on here. So yeah, I guess I should flip it this way. But yeah, this is looking really nice. Very nice quality parts. Kind of similar to the Scorpion model that I built. I don't know if I'll have that video up before this one, so but we'll see. All right, well, let's hope everything's in there. And I guess we'll go and get started on this. Wow, this should be really fun. Okay, so I just want to show you, this is the electronic circuit. Now, most of this is already put together as far as like this piece, this board here, and then the eyes, the LEDs. So from here, you start adding all the things like the switch here, and then over here you can see there's a whole bunch of components that you got to add to this. So hopefully this charges right. They're talking about DC power for these batteries. There's 2 of them. And I'm hoping that my regular phone charger will charge these, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so we got everything all plugged in now. Quite the mass of electronics here. And then everything is plugged in down to the floor where we can see it is now charging. The light is red and it'll turn blue when it's all fully charged. At least the batteries didn't blow up, so thank goodness. Looks like we're okay. Okay, so now we have this entire assembly done. You can see there is a bunch of gears in there. Well, there's a couple gears. There's a belt. See that little white belt right in there? It goes right around those 2 sprockets or whatever you call those things. Also, if you're building this, I highly recommend you put a little white grease. You can see a little bit of it oozing out of there on those things because they've got to spin. So you want to make sure those are lubricated. You got the motor on here. So let me hook up that battery and I'll show you what it looks like when it works. And there you can see that it is spinning. And get this here, you can see the gears moving in there nicely. Get my thumb out of the way. You can see it's moving really good and the belt's turning as well. Alright, so good. At least we got things working. Alright, so now this is the left side, and you can see they're slightly different in the way they're constructed. How the motor's more in the middle up for the right, and then it's lower on the left side here. And it's kind of the same configuration going on here. We got the gears and the belt. So let's go ahead and test this one and make sure that that works. And yes, it does. Thank goodness. So we can see the belt moving along there and the gear as well. All right. I always love it when things work. All right, so now we're starting to build the arms now, and these are really cool. I think these are going to actually move in and out or spin or something. So this just has a gear mechanism here on the front. A little bit of, I put some more of the lubrication there going on. I think this is going to slide in and out. And then this piece just screws right on. And then you got these neat little pieces here, these really tiny things that go inside here. Like that. And then this one goes over here. And then these pieces, by the way, are really tiny, so you really got to be careful. And let's see, this one goes in over here. Okay, and then this piece here, it's kind of like a little laser gun or something. Let's see, I think we'll put the prettier side on the outside. So let's put this together like this. See if we can line all these up. Maybe. It's a little bit tricky trying to get all of these on here. Let me see, do I have these the right way? Yeah. It's a narrow side and a wide side. It's trying to hang on to the back part so it doesn't slide off. Well, let me see if I can get this on real quick. Yeah, okay, there we go. And then the final piece is this little cone, and it just screws into the top right here. Okay. All right. Might take some pliers just to tighten that down a little bit, but that looks really cool. Not sure which arm that is, but that looks really, really neat. Okay, so this is the next arm. So we start with this end. It's got a one flat side over here, so we put another one of these gears in here. It only fits one way, just like that. All right, and then let's see, we're gonna need this. This is gonna go down. Oh, actually, we need to put some grease on this, so let me get a little bit of this here real quick. All right, so let's just kind of spread this on here. And try to get it on here evenly. So I'm guessing both of these slide in and out. I thought one of these turned, but I don't know for sure. So just get a decent amount of this grease on here. This stuff is, let's see, what am I using? This is called Lucas Oil Products White Lithium Grease. So just found it at Home Depot. All right, so let's see, this is gonna go on here. Okay, and just kind of get this all. All right, good. So now that's gonna slide nicely on here, like that. And then the final piece is this one right here. This is cool, it looks like a little bullet or something. Okay, and there's already a little gasket right there too. Okay, there we go. And then that's gonna slide in and out. I'm guessing this is gonna move. I'm sorry, I'm out of camera, so I'm guessing it's gonna move like that. All right, well, that was kind of fun to build. Okay, so now we were getting the main body put together. As you can see here, all the sides go together. Everything's very specific, the way it all fits. So at the beginning, when you were assembling the circuit, I think it was just to test it, to make sure that the batteries get charged, because you unplug everything. And then when you're at this point where you're putting the whole body together, now you got to put everything back together again. So there's a spaghetti farm of wiring going on in here, and you just got to make sure you put all the plugs on the proper plug-ins. They're all different sizes, so you're not gonna, mess it up or anything, because it'll, there's only one plug per thing, except for the motors, but they both have the same size, which is this one here. And then there's one way down there. Now, if I get down in here, you can see the batteries kind of tuck into this spot right in here. And then there's one motor that's way down there. See it? It's way down there at the bottom, right there. It's kind of tucked in there as well. So yeah, it's kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of tight in there. And the rest of this, I think, is going to go to the head. All right, well, it went together a little better than I thought, but it's pretty involved in there. Okay, moving right along now. We've got the wheels in place. So you have to do 2 for one side and 2 for the other. They're slightly different. These little locking rings, let me see if I can focus in on that. They're these little rings that kind of lock these things in place. See that right there? They can be a little bit tricky to put on, especially in tight places like that. But I do like them because they are secure. So let's see here. Now these wheels turn really good. And you got to grease those. Once again, these ones are the ones that are attached to the motors. So yeah, it's coming right along here. And then we got the entire body all put together now, which was a little tricky also. But you can see everything's crammed in there. So now we're going to start working on the little chain link bicycle chain type of treads. Okay, this part was horrible. I had a heck of a struggle with this circuitry here for the head. So, when you first get this kit, some of these components are already plugged into this board. And I don't know why they did that because you have to unplug them anyway. So I'm not sure what the point of it was. But the one that gave me a really hard time was the 10-pin connector. So on the instructions here, you can see, where is it? It's right there. See it? So the problem is they don't give you enough cable to really be able to reach under here to get that. You can kind of see it right in the middle of your screen right there if I can focus in on it. So it's back and behind there. It's behind these other two plugins, which makes it hard to reach. And then you're having to push it in to the board. But the problem is you just don't have enough cable to really get a good grip to push it in. So it accidentally pulled out when I was trying to plug in another one over here. And so I had to fight with it. And oh man, that was terrible. There's just not enough cable there. So this whole thing now is going to have to get all smushed in here. And then we'll get his eyes all ready to go. But man, that took me a long time to get that part done. All right, here he is all complete now. And oh man, he's really cute. This is a really cute robot. I really think he's really neat looking. A lot of fun to build. A little bit of hiccups here and there for the most part. That thing I was telling you about with the head. Another thing I should mention in that last little bit of footage, his eyes. I had the cable going through the hole that goes through the circuit board down inside there, and you shouldn't do that. You actually should have the cables go underneath the circuit board because you're not going to have enough cable to bring his eyes to the front of his head. So I had that built wrong. So all you have to do is just disconnect it. So, but yeah, here he is all complete now. He does look a little bit like Wall-E in this whole section with the same kind of wheels and the same boxy body and a little bit of a round. And I mean, you can clearly tell this little guy was influenced by Wall-E by quite a bit, actually. But he looks really cool. And the construction is really nice. The parts are really nice. All these metal pieces on here look really good. There's the jack right here to plug him in. That's the power switch right there. There's a little bit of cool colored bits underneath here. That's the anodized parts. And his battery is kind of showing through there. But yeah, you can see all the little details on here. He's got, a little bit of heft to him. He's got some weight to him, actually. He's pretty hefty because he's mostly metal, which is really impressive for a kit like this. Here he is more close up now. You can kind of see the details of his eyes. His eyes are pretty bright. There's the speaker, which I didn't know he had a speaker. And I'll talk about these here in a little bit when I show you when he's running. There's his little laser pistol looking kind of thing, which looks really neat. I love these treads. It looks really good. That little spring right in there is how you get the treads on because this whole wheel can push down. And that's how you're able to thread those around the triangular shape right there. Really nice construction going on here. I like the color of him. He's kind of like a gunmetal. There's the battery that I mentioned earlier and the switch and the power connection point. But yeah, he looks really good. You can see a little bit on the inside, which is fine. It doesn't look, awkward. There's the little gear mechanism that makes these turn. His arms, there's some more little connections in there. And there's more of his head. You can kind of see this all screws together. The head is the last thing you put together, and this cover is the last thing you put on. So see if I can get some light down in here. You can kind of see the circuit board down there. So yeah, it's not crazy complicated, but it's sophisticated enough in there. It's going to take you some time to put this together. I think I saw somewhere or heard somewhere that it takes 2 hours to put this together. Yeah, I don't know who can put this thing together in 2 hours. It's 2 times 5. I think I probably spent a good 10 to 12 hours working on this thing. But like I said, I'm a slow builder on a lot of stuff. But and then I had to kind of find my way through some troubleshooting. All right, well, anyway, let me show you what he looks like when he's running. Okay, now, after quite a struggle, I managed to finally get this thing to work. The app is kind of crazy. This is what it looks like. You got two slide controllers for forward, backward, and right and left, and then that's his head turning. So here he is right there. When you turn him on, there's a little red light that appears at the top of his head there. Now let me drive him around so you can kind of see what he looks like. You can see his you can see his head turns. And he drives pretty cool, actually. It's a little, a bit of a learning curve to kind of get used to the controller here. I like the way his head turns. And it turns when you turn him, or you can turn his head just by the controller like this. And you can see the lights in his eyes go opposite of which way he's turning. And then also in his head here, you can see there is lights inside of his head, which is kind of cool. I didn't notice that he had those. It's kind of a jerky movement. It's not like really smooth, but he moves really good. Let me move him back here. I like the way his treads work with those chains. Yeah, it's very smooth too. It's a very smooth movement. I'm just glad I could finally get this thing to work. I almost gave up on the trying to get this app going in here. Now, if you'll notice, watch his little arms there. You can see that they turn as he moves. You can really see it on his right arm. You can see that little thing kind of spinning right there. It's kind of neat. Let's see, what does the other one do? I'm trying to see what his right arm does. Oh, it spins, but you can't really see it because it's so smooth. I thought one of them went in and out, but I guess they don't. So yeah, they're actually turning as he moves. Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. Let me bring him back over here. It's a little hard to turn because even when you just go forward just a little bit like this. Oh, well, actually, that one worked pretty good. But if you turn him, it's a little bit, he kind of moves a little bit, past when you stop touching it. All right, now, he also has, right up here, you can kind of see he's got a switch, and there's also a knob right here. Now, see if I can kind of get a closer look at this. Now, when you turn it on, it'll play this Christmas song. I don't think this has got a copyright, so let's try it. And it's kind of loud, too. Let me see. Oh, maybe it only works when he's not in control mode. Maybe that's what that is. Yeah, I bet it is. And then this is like I think it's volume up and down. And then, because there's a positive negative right there. And then also, there's a light right there. But yeah, so usually he'll start playing this song. We'll go ahead and turn this off. But mainly I wanted to show you, I'm more interested in the ability to control him. Oh, now we lost all of that. Okay, great. Okay, so I accidentally turned him off because the back knob right here, the on-off, is very easy to hit that because it's just right there. So when you pick him up, you accidentally have a tendency to turn that off. Now, let me turn that music on. I'll show you now. Like I said, I hope there's no copyright on it. I'll just very briefly play it. There's two songs on him. There's the Christmas song, and then there's another one, which I'm not sure if that's copyrighted, but we'll go and turn it on. And you can turn it down like this. There's a knob. You can press and hold this for the volume. Now, this is the next song, which I don't know if that's copyrighted, so I'm not going to play that one. So we're back to this again. All right, so let me turn that off. And the speaker is actually, it's right up here, and I didn't even know there was a speaker on the circuit board. And it's pretty loud. It's actually pretty loud, and it's pretty clear for the most part, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I think I figured out what it is. When you first activate the app, you have to choose which device you're going to use because they make several things. And there's a first version of this robot called Pathfinder 1, but interestingly, you can't scroll this. So you just tap this one because that's the one that we're using. Now you'll see here where it says disconnected. So you'll hit scan, and this has taken me forever to figure this out. Okay, so we'll hit scan, and then we have this screen. Okay, so it's just telling you to scan it, so we'll scan. We'll let it finish doing the scan right here. And then it'll say find device, which is what I could not figure out why it kept doing that. Right there. All right, so then what you got to do is you got to tap this. All right. Let me tap that again. Okay, now you see it says connected, and he makes a little bit of a noise. So that's it. I finally figured out what the deal is with this. For the longest time, I could not figure out. See, now you can go back to controlling them again. It's not very well explained on any of this. And the app is very basic, so it's not like you got a whole lot of things that you can tap on here. You know, if it had explained, well, I guess find device, but you know, it's vague that's what you got to do to you know, tap the actual device that's on there. But you know, it doesn't. Why doesn't it just say tap device name, or why doesn't it just automatically, you know, connect? It would make it a whole lot easier. But he's really cool. I mean, once you get him going, he actually works really well. I really like the chain treads. I think those are really cool. I like his eyes. I think those are really neat. Turn his head here so you can kind of see how that all works. And the eyes are nice and bright too, so it's kind of jerky, like I said. Now, I don't know how long a charge will last on him. I'm assuming it probably lasts a while. He probably doesn't use a whole lot of power. I'm not going to use him as a music thing. I thought maybe he was going to be a smart speaker type of robot, like an Alexa, but I don't think he is. But I think he's cool. You see, he can drive over some rough terrain. I think a little bit of rough terrain. He's not that balanced, but he is fun to steer around once that you get him going. All right, so man, I'm glad I figured that out. If you get this thing, I hope this video is going to help you, because I have been fumbling with this for the last. Well, I got frustrated with it last night. I was working on him pretty late, and then I got him briefly working on my phone, and then I couldn't get him to work again. And then I wanted to download the app to the my tablet, because I want to be able to film this on my phone. So, but anyway, yeah, he's fun. I mean, now that I got him working, I take back all the cussing that I was doing, because he's actually pretty neat. Yeah, I like this little guy. Yeah, all right, whew, man, glad I got him working now. By the way, I should mention that he does roll on carpet as well. And it's a lot quieter, actually. But I'm not really sure I'd recommend it, because you don't want carpet fibers getting inside his little wheels and gears and stuff like that. But he does roll very, very good on either surface. On the bottom here, I forgot to mention, he does have an SD card slot right here. And let's see, I think if you push on it, it clicks, and there's the SD card right here. You can just pull that out just like that. It comes with this SD card. It kind of goes in at an angle, and then, oh, actually, no, it must have gotten straightened out when I put it together. And then you just click it in like that. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. And you can put whatever sound you want on there. You can add whatever music you want him to play, or if you want sound effects or something like that, you can do that as well. He also comes with this micro SD adapter right here, so you can download your stuff onto that SD card. So it's nice that it does come with this. There are some spare parts left over when you're done. So you got a bunch of screws. There's a couple of the belts. He's got these rubber belt things down here, these little kind of white, clearish colored things. You can see them better back here. They give you a couple of spares of those, and some extra washers, screws, and there's even a couple of extra springs in there. So it's nice that they give you some extra parts as well. So, you know, at least you got some extras. All right, well, there we go. The little robot from Stirlingkit. The website is where I got it from. I don't know if it's name branded Stirlingkit. I think it's actually Teching. I think is actually the name. I think Stirlingkit is just the website to get them from. They have other cool metal kits in there. There's like engines. There's quite a few different engines that you can build. And I'm assuming they're working versions of it, which look pretty cool and pretty complex. Kind of expensive as well. This kit was $200, like I mentioned. I kind of thought it was kind of high for the price was kind of high for this, but now that I've built it, I kind of see why it costs that much. The electronics, the motors. I mean, this is a substantially built thing. The metal in it is what I think gives it a nice feel. The metal is probably expensive to make, and I just think he's really cool. He's way better than I thought he was going to be. When I first started building this, I thought, yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to like this. And then when I couldn't get the app to work, I thought, well, looks like I just bought myself a 200 pound, a $200 paperweight. But thankfully, I got it to work. But it does take some finagling with that app. I don't know. A company like this, it's not like a major brand or anything like that. These aren't sold on Amazon either. I looked. And so sometimes you end up with kind of a really basic app. And there's an update you have to do on it as well. So if you download that app, you'll have to update it to get the most update version of it. You're going to have to use the QR codes in the book to download that, because otherwise you won't be able to find it. So keep that manual, or at least keep that page in case you ever need to, download that again. But yeah, this is really cool. I'm actually very impressed with it. So once again, I have to give a big shout out to the World of Wayne channel. So Wayne, if you're watching, thank you for showing this, because I would have never known about this. But he lucked out; he got it for free. I wish I could have gotten it for free. As of the making of this video, they did have a discount. It was $40. I think it's down to 30 now. So you can get them for about 160 or 170, which is actually pretty good. I mean, it's better than 200. And then it ships from China, because that's where it's made. But it got here pretty quick, actually. I was surprised how quick it was. But anyway, all right. Well, I think he's pretty cute, and I really like this a lot. All right. Well, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and also don't forget to subscribe. I'd really appreciate that as well. So thank you so much for watching, and until the next episode, I'll see you then. So have a good one.